This is Leon, and I want to talk about how there are these points that come up from within myself, and I realize how points can be directed within my physical reality, meaning I'm able to take hold of the point, whatever the point or the situation is that is manifesting within my mind, within it as a thought or an imagination or a feeling. My experience of a thought or a feeling is that it's like glue, you just want to stick to that feeling. And so I realize that when I am able to release these points through a process of self-forgiveness, meaning that, basically releasing myself from the particular specific construct, the thought or the imagination or the feeling thereof. So I realize how my mind can intensify these feelings within myself. Basically, there is a point where I direct myself within my mind, not allow myself to be influenced by a particular specific thought or an imagination. And so with this, I realize that I am able to release myself from the particular specific thought or the imagination. Not really releasing myself from the thought, is more in relation to releasing myself from my relationship that I created to the thought, my relationship that I created to a feeling, to an imagination, or my relationship that I created to a memory, because it is this relationship where I become influenced within and as that becomes a feeling or that becomes an emotion. The difference between emotions and feelings is that emotion is negative, feeling is positive. I realize that within and as the course of my life, or my process of doing this, basically, not my entire life, but within the process of directing myself within these moments, I realize how my mind or things get intensified within myself. Where, for example, say for instance, you have a test in the first grade and you pass all your tests in the first grade. Well, you got promoted to the second grade, and now you have these more elaborate tests. A better comparison would be having or taking particular tests in kindergarten, and thus having and taking tests within college. These tests are quite different. The college-oriented tests will be more elaborate, have more information that one will have to process to come to a point of correction, or to come to a point of direction, basically, as a point of answering the questions effectively in order to have the correct answer. But in this case, it's not really about right and wrong. It's basically about me having these experiences within myself where there is more of an intensity, a more elaboration within how within my thought processes, my memories, all the relationships that I created, I begin to see those the intricacies of those relationships, and it becomes within my mind the illusion of overwhelmingness, because Now, it's like, when you're babysitting all these children, you have this thought and that thought. But, I realize that all these different elaborations of thoughts within my life, I realize how they are all connected to this one or these few patterns within myself. So I'm able to direct myself by simply doing self-forgiveness as a point of releasing myself from the influences that I created based on a thought or an imagination or a memory. I'm able to release those points through forgiving myself, asking myself, what are these few points within myself that I am holding on to, such as points of desire within a perspective of, for me, is within this perspective of, say, for example, entertainment, So I'm able to simply, direct the point within my world and reality. Not saying that I am not able to direct all the points that come up. Yes, that is in fact the point that is to be taken into consideration. It's the point of actually directing oneself in every moment when one becomes influenced by a particular specific point, and one is able to direct oneself, which is what I have been directing myself within and as. But it is also a point where the point of laziness comes into existence, and the point of overwhelmingness comes into existence when I'm like, well, I'll do it later, basically. And then that point becomes validated. That relationship within my mind becomes validated. And then I thus disempower myself to that particular specific imagination or memory. And so within this, I can also have a look at the general perspectives of the primary points as the relationship points, the primary points where I am creating and generating all of these imaginations and memories within myself, which would in fact be something like desire, for instance, the desire for entertainment. And so therefore I have a blog that I'm able to direct the point specifically in specificity within writing, being able to write down the points and being able to, within that, self-forgive and make a commitment that that my commitment is to stop and to instead of listening to my mind as my imaginations, I'm able to I guess you can say disempower that particular relationship by simply not participating in it. For example, and so I'm able to write a blog, and within that blog, I am able to investigate the origin points of what is the origin points within my life, where these points that are manifesting within my world and reality are coming back repetitively. What are the points that I am actually not looking at? And so this is a point within myself that I saw as far as my process. So here I just want to do a couple of self-forgiveness statements, and I want to do a commitment for these self-forgiveness statements as a point of directing myself, as a point of I guess you could say, taking my initiative back, if you will. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to make the excuse within being lazy, not actually caring or loving myself. And within not caring and loving myself exists within laziness, where I accept and allow my own thoughts, my imaginations, my emotions, my feelings to direct me within my world and reality. And therefore, I forgive myself that I have allowed myself to limit my awareness within and as how I relate to a thought, how I relate to a feeling, how I relate to an imagination, how I relate to an emotion. And within this, become enslaved by relationships of definitions, opinions that I create within my mind that keeps my awareness locked into a one-dimensional reality. And within that, follow that reality consistently within my life. Instead of seeing, realizing, and understanding and walking the principle of what is best for all, what is best for everyone within this world. I forgive myself that I have not accepted and allowed myself to realize that I cannot assist and support myself to grow and develop myself as a point of equalizing myself to and within equality, within what is best for all, politically, ethically, and financially, if I am constantly and continuously existing within relationships within my mind that I use to validate my own self-interest. And so I commit myself to stop, to assist and support myself to bring to expand my awareness through redefining or actually expanding my awareness within and by releasing my connection or my relationship to that which influences me, which are these emotions and feelings and these thoughts. And I commit myself to assist and support myself to expand myself within and as a principle of equality and oneness as what's best for all, by actually being able to position myself within an awareness that is able to support what is best for all life, which is an awareness that is not defined by or tied by or influenced by the mind within and as memories, thoughts, emotions, feelings, etc. All right. And so that is all that I have there. Thank you.